The idea with Ben's bells is that a lot of effort has gone into making one, right? So by the time a Ben's bell is finished, at least 10 people have worked on it, and there have been a lot of hours and a lot of care and a lot of love put into the bell. So when we go out distributing it, it's kind of it's a spiritual experience. It actually is. So think about Ben is my son, and he died 4 years ago, and he died very suddenly and unexpectedly on a really, really normal day in my life. He had a cold, and I wasn't worried about him at all. But the virus settled into his airway, and his airway closed off. And so he died, and that is kind of how our story begins. Obviously, we were completely devastated by his death and needed people around us to take care of us for a really long time. And this is what Ben's Bells is born out of. When I came back to work at the university 5 months after Ben's death, I was really acutely aware of how much pain I was carrying around inside of me, but I was also really aware that I was just walking around looking like a normal person. So I started kind of obsessing about that idea, about how I was walking around looking like a normal person when all I wanted to do was die. And so I started thinking about other people, and I would look at somebody else on campus, a student, and wonder what they were going through. And so at the same time, people would do kind acts for me, little things like holding a door open or smiling at me or just making eye contact or letting me into traffic or whatever. And these acts, which were before nice in my life, became these really powerful and important things in my life. So we came up with Ben's Bells because we wanted people to appreciate how much power they have every day in those simple interactions.
This organization is one of the greatest I've heard so far on campus, as far as actual messages that reach the community as much as this does. And I just feel great to be a part of it. I think I've personally gained like a humbleness and gratitude as to what I have and what I've learned, and how fortunate we all are to have all these opportunities, and that I personally, at the end of the day, feel like I've accomplished more doing this than I do other things, just because I know that I'm helping everyone in the community.
We had no idea the project would take off like it has. We originally started making Ben's Bells kind of therapeutically for ourselves, and we worked with friends and family and worked with the clay, and the project itself is really accessible to everybody. You don't have to have any artistic ability, and we found that just gathering with people that we knew and sharing with them and talking with them while we worked on this project together was really, really good for us.
The very first day that Ben's Bells were hung in Tucson, I got up about 6 a.m., went out and got my Arizona Daily Star, picked up the paper, read the bottom of page 1, and saw that Ben's Bells were being distributed around Tucson. And a very dear friend was going through a very difficult time, so I decided I had to go get her a Ben's Bell. And from that moment on, whenever there has been a Ben's Bell, bells distributed around Tucson, I have run out, and the most recent being for my dear friend Ben, who passed away. And so I sent one to his wife. Ben's Bells are in Williamsburg and Richmond and upstate New York and all over. I have sent them, and I find them. It takes me a while, but I find them. And so I've decided that I wanted to help make Ben's Bells.
What we wanted to do to honor Ben was, on the first anniversary of his death, we wanted to hang these bells all over Tucson. They're wind chimes, really, and they're made from ceramic. All over Tucson, and with a note that says just to take it home and to remember to spread kindness. So that's kind of what we expected out of the project, that the process itself was really good for us, and then we would honor Ben with this kind of, really fun and hopeful distribution of the bells to the public, and that was where we would kind of end it. But what happened was we just got all these stories back, and from the people who had found bells, people who had read the articles, people who were learning about what we were doing. And what we found was that, you know, this is a universal need, obviously. More kindness, everybody needs more kindness. So everybody's going through their stuff, and we have, you know, wonderful nonprofit organizations already that support, you know, breast cancer research and support other areas where people are having a hard time. But we found that Ben's Bells was this universal appeal that crossed all of those different organizations and causes with this need for people just to be treated gently in their everyday lives.
I think it's just a really cool project, inspiring everybody to spread kindness. I think it's really nice. Distributions are fun. You get to go around hiding the bells in trees.
It's nice to see when other people come in and can experience some calming effect and some joy out of doing this, and know that in some way Ben has brought that to them. So, thanks.